Hello everyone. So today I'm here to talk about the automated driving toolbox using MATLAB. So this will be the basic agenda of the entire presentation. So we will be first introduced to the basic features of the automated driving toolbox, and I'm going to focus on two main features, that is the ground truth labeler and the driving scenario designer app. These are the two apps which I've been using extensively, and after that I will run through quick demonstrations of the current of the two applications, and we'll follow it up with a case study, and finally we will also talk about some of the job opportunities in this career. So if you are already introduced to the autonomous driving domain, then you would be asking questions as to why do I have to go for the automated driving toolbox. So one of the main reasons I see is, as a budding engineer, if you want to learn skills, especially in this industry, it requires a lot of hands-on experience. So starting off with the ATD toolbox, the automated driving toolbox actually helps you to get the real examples which MathWorks has provided us. And all these examples are part of the various software stacks, and it is divided into the level 1, level 2, and level 3 autonomous driving architecture of the autonomous driving vehicle. So we have different features like the various subsystems which can be tested, and we can also model the real-time simulation communication protocols like the CAN, and we can also make sure that the models and the software which we develop are compliant with the ISO 26262. So the main advantage I see, when I started using this, was the direct examples which was provided by MATLAB. Even if I did not know anything, the examples were provided with so much of detail that a person who was not introduced to this at all can immediately start learning this and gain a lot of experience in this. So first, to start off with the ATD toolbox, the main advantages and applications of this is we can design, simulate, and test various advanced driver assistance systems. And we have various subsystems in any autonomous driving stack, like the vision and the radar perception system. So all of this can be directly modeled using the ATD toolbox. And we have examples and subsystems and models already created. So it is a direct help for people who don't have much experience in this. And after you model all the systems, there are various visualization tools like the bird's eye plot and displays for viewing the sensor outputs. This is a very crucial part because as a human, we need to see what we are working with. And this gives you a much better understanding of what we are dealing with. I have just shown you a very slight animation of what the visualization tool looks like. And after this, once you develop your system, it is very important to test the how robust your system is. So once you develop your model using either MATLAB or Simulink, it makes more sense to convert it directly into C or C++ code and do multiple testing like HIL, hardware in the loop testing, software in the loop testing, processor in the loop testing, and more. So the two main applications I'm going to talk about with the automated driving toolbox is the ground truth labeler and the driving scenario designer app. So these two were the only components of the ADT till the 2020A release of MATLAB. But along with the 2020B release, we have some more features added to this. So the ground truth labeler app, it actually helps you to automate the labeling of the ground truth for training and evaluating various perception algorithms. So we all might be aware of the importance of machine learning and deep learning in autonomous driving. So when you deal with any kind of training, you need to have access to the real ground truth. And with the ground truth labeler app, it has just been a piece of cake. It is very easy and intuitive approach that even a person who has not dealt with this much can easily get hands-on with it and learn it within a few minutes. Then we have the driving scenario designer app. So this is another application which helps me once I build any of the level 1 or level 2 or even level 3 automated driving features, I want to build certain scenarios to test how the performance of this is. So to evaluate the performance, I need to build a specific scenario to test the various features. So let's say I am working on the automated emergency braking feature. So I need to create a scenario in which I should see whether my AEB feature is working or not. All this is very easy with the driving scenario designer app. So The first question is, if I have an app within this, why should I actually go for this? Do I have any alternative which is easier? So the advantage of using this is it is a very interactive approach. As we saw in the previous animation, I can just directly take in my sensor data and draw a bounding box around it and say that this is my ground truth. And once I do that, I can also simultaneously label the timestamped data coming from various sources, like let's say a lidar, radar, and a camera at the same time. And once I do all this, I can export all of this directly to let's say a training model or a detection algorithm to train my network and try to detect, let's say, the color of a vehicle or the color of the traffic signal and more. So the basic requirement of this is the MATLAB software, and it should have a version of at least 2017B. And along with that, you need the automated driving toolbox, because that after this version only, we have the ADT toolbox as part of MATLAB. So some of the features which are the highlights of the Ground Truth Labeler app is that, like I mentioned, you can simultaneously label data coming from multiple sensors. Like for example, I can label the car in my image frame from the camera and the lidar frame from the sensor data at the same time. And I can define this region of interest in various ways. Like for example, if I have a two-dimensional image like a camera, a rectangular image is enough. But if I go for a LiDAR, I would require a three-dimensional figure. And let's say I want to label a road, then I don't want a rectangular line. I don't want a rectangular for region of interest for it. I would be more interested in a straight line, which is used to label, let's say, a road. And once I have all this data, the ground truth, I can actually automate the process for detection or the labeling using various algorithms. These algorithms can either be built in or you can make them custom. I will probably explain more when I have the demonstration. Once I actually build the algorithm, I can evaluate the performance of my algorithm using various techniques. And the easiest way is to actually have like a visual summary which says, let's say I'm detecting the cars. I can, in one frame, I will be able to say how many cars actually were there in that specific frame. And once I have all of this data, I can export this to the MATLAB tool workspace and use that to train, let's say, a deep convolutional neural network to do various tasks like detection or segmentation. And the more important advantage of this is it can work with it can even display the time synchronized signals like the CAN bus data, which is most commonly used in our communication for automated driving or even for basic mechanical purposes. So the main functions which I'll be talking about today is the labeling, the sub-labeling, the attribute part of the ground truth labeler. So when you want to label the ground truth in any data, first I need to have something called a label, which will tell me what the data is about. So let's say in this specific frame, I'm currently labeling the camera. So in this camera frame, I want to know where my car is. So I use a label and I call this as, I just name this as a vehicle. So this is what I have done here. And then there is something called a sub-label where within a specific label, I can have certain divisions inside it. So let's say I have a vehicle here. I can have specifications inside this saying that this is my door and this is my tire, etc. And I can also add attributes both to my label and sub-label. So attributes are like more specific information about the car. So let's say I just told here that it's a vehicle, but I want to know what kind of a vehicle it is or what model of a vehicle it is. Those details can be added in attributes. Once I do all this labeling for one frame, this is done. But let's say I have a video and I want to do this for each and every frame. So drawing this region of interest for almost every frame in a video does sound like a tedious task. So that is why we have something called an option called as automate detector. So there is an option to select an algorithm where you can choose the region of interest and then click on automate algorithm, which will track this region of interest across the video frame. So there can be multiple ways in which this is done. There are multiple algorithms which are already built in MATLAB, and you can also add in your own custom algorithms for detection if you're not satisfied with the performance. And the option of view label summary, once you created all these labels, you can use this view label summary, which will show you over the entire video frame how many times each label has occurred. So this will give you a more easy understanding as to whether it actually worked or not. So this is a small demonstration of the ground truth labeler app. So once I open the app, I would first import the video from any specific location where I have, and this can not only be a video, it can be any sort of source information which is coming in. So this is a model video which I just downloaded for this demonstration purpose. And once I have imported the video, I would want to label each the region of interest in one specific frame. So over here, I just choose the label as face, and I would just mark this, say, using my mouse click. So it's as easy as that. And within the label, I can also make some sublabels where I'm interested more in the eyes and the mouth. So once I do this, once I add the sublabels within a specific face, I can also add some more attributes like whether he's wearing a spectacles or whether he's wearing a cap, or if I want to give more information about the complexion or anything. So once I do all this, I want to do this continuously for multiple frames. So there is this option called algorithm on top, and I just click on the select algorithm where I choose any one of algorithms. Right now I have chosen the point tracker. So what happens is, if I choose the region of interest and then I click on run, it would track the region of interest across the various video frames for me. So I do not have to go to each and every frame. I don't have to go to each and every frame and label the same region of interest again and again. So that is a basic demonstration about the ground truth labeler. The second app we'll be looking about is the driving scenario designer. So like I mentioned earlier, once we build the different features in level 1 and level 2 for autonomous driving, I want to test the various features. So let's say in this specific case, I want to see whether my sensor placement is right or wrong. So in this example, I have used 5 sensors, which are radars displayed in black in color. And then there is the blue colored, which is the vision camera. So I can see that on using this arrangement of sensors, there is a specific blind spot in which if the vehicle is traveling at a constant velocity, I will not be able to detect it. So that is one very important use of the driving scenario designer app. And the other very good usage of it is for unit and integrated testing of various ADAS features. So let's say I have built a feature for level 2 driving and I want to test it using various scenarios. I can build all of these scenarios with ease using the driving scenario designer app, and I can test each of these, the working of each feature, either through unit testing by testing them individually, or I can combine them together and test them together. So some of the important features of the driving scenario designer app is you can create your actor, that is your ego vehicle, and you can add roads and you can add more vehicles to it and simulate the scenario. And the most common sensors used in automated driving is the vision, camera, and the LiDAR. And with the 2020B version of MATLAB, there is also an option to add the LiDAR, which was not there before. So this is definitely going to be really helpful. And once if you are not interested in building your own, you can also load the scenarios directly, which are pre-built. And these are scenarios built specifically to test the operations of various features like automated emergency braking or lane keep assist, etc., defined by Euro NCAP. And this is an international organization which defines rules as to how the level of performance of your specific feature should be once you have designed it. And even if you're not interested in building scenarios, but you want to import raw data from the OpenStreetMap, you can do that as well using this specific application. And once you build your car and your ego vehicle and you've mounted all the sensors onto it, you can also move all this from your Simulink model to your MATLAB for further processing. And after that, you can even generate the MATLAB code out of it if you are not interested in working with Simulink, so that you can you can do more indulge understanding of it. And if you want to work with Simulink because you are more of a drag and drop option and you like to work with GUI, then you can do that as well. And there are multiple examples along with this as well to get you started immediately. So let's go with a quick demonstration of this as well. So over here, I want to build a scenario from scratch. So I click on new and I try to add a road. And like you can see, I can just click on it and add the road, and it's as easy as that. So I would start with adding one single actor, and this actor acts as my ego vehicle. So I can set that over here, and after I add the vehicle, I would define its trajectory. So this is the trajectory which it would follow, and I can define the angle, the, let's say, the speed which it should go, the lane definition, everything along with this. And once I did that, I want to add various sensors to this ego vehicle so that it can track the other vehicle coming in. So as you can see here, we have added the vision, that is the camera, the radar, which is shown in red, as well as the LiDAR over here. So right now there are no detections of the truck because it is a little far away. And if you did not, if you missed it over here, while adding the different sensors, there are also various specifications as to where you want to place the sensor, and the various details about each sensor as to what is the field of view, what is the angle, what is the maximum range, everything. All of these data can be availed from the data sheet of the specific sensor you're working with, and you can add those details in this area. And once I add that, I am now waiting to see whether I'm getting detections. So I have the bird's eye plot and the egocentric view for giving me different views of it. And so let's see, while running the scenario, whether I can actually detect the truck in front of me. So I'm just trying to show the different values. Like, let's say these are the different actor properties which I have changed, and these are some of the details which we can modify over here. So once I do that, I can see that when the truck is really close to me, I'm getting the red color dots in front of me. So these dots are actually the tracks, or basically the detections from the radar in front of me, which have detected the truck. So these are some of the advantages of the Driving Scenario Designer app. Once I have built this entire scenario, I can directly import this into MATLAB or Simulink so that I can understand more analysis or testing of the specific scenario. So what we just saw is one very good example of a vehicle simulator where I'm able to model a sensor, I'm able to model the different features, and I'm able to do testing of it, ground truth labeling of it, and etc. So the main advantage of any of this kind of a vehicle simulator is it can drive a lot more miles than it would be possible with physical hardware. So currently in Tempe, Arizona, we can see that there is a lot of testing of the Waymo vehicles, but it has been drastically reduced after some fatal incidents which had happened. So, but even then, Waymo boasts that it has got the most robust software because they have multiple GPUs and computers running all the simulations every day, and that has actually helped them in testing more scenarios than they could actually test in real hardware. So while designing the scenarios, like with the way we did using the scenario designer app, we can also build very interesting and difficult interactions which would not be possible using physical hardware. And the main resource which at least for people like new engineers who are not into the automated driving domain, if they want to learn about this, it is much easier to do it using softwares and simulators rather than actually getting a position in a company and start doing it. Because when you actually go and interview for a company, they would expect you to know all of these. And the only way you can do this is by actually learning it by doing some kind of a vehicle, through a vehicle simulator or a course like this. It makes a lot more sense to use. So some of the one interesting case study which I did was what could be the drawbacks of these vehicle simulators. So like anyone would have guessed is, no matter how many simulations you do for a specific scenario, you can definitely not model some things which were not predefined. So this is one example which I found, and it was an interesting example because this car crash happened in a Tesla Model S, if I'm not wrong. And the reason they gave for this car crash is because since the truck was already lying down, and since the top of the truck was white in color, the car actually misclassified it as stationary object, which is of not so much of importance to it. Because when automated driving, you are more interested in the moving obstacles and the moving vehicles around you. And since it was more lighter in color, it got camouflaged with the lighter colored sky. And since you could not get a very precise prediction as to what it could be, the car just went into the vehicle and just crashed it. It did not even apply the emergency brake. So to talk about the evolution in this field, right now we have seen a lot of examples of vehicle simulators, and platforms where you can learn this. But the very first way how it started is through the Air Force pilot training, because that was something which was not feasible to do in physical hardware a lot of years ago, even now, because it's too expensive. But with more and more advancements in technology and self-driving cars being the norm everywhere, I think it's more popular right now, the cars driving simulators rather than the Air Force driving simulators. And the reason why it is getting more and more robust is because it can reflect the real world in many different ways, and it is becoming more and more precise and accurate. So even the times when I started learning about this field, I can see the difference between the simulators at that time and the power and the more authenticity of the simulators right now. So this is one specific example which I found in Cruise website. This is one of the leading automated driving companies. So you can see that when the person is actually trying to take the vehicle in reverse, the green color trajectory which was predicted by the autonomous vehicle, it is very precisely saying that the person is now going to take a U-turn. This would not have been possible if the prediction module was not so advanced and if it has not been trained so much in detail. But yes, with more and more training, you can get much more precise results. So talking about some of the state-of-the-art vehicle simulators, the most common which I have seen for, at least for the automated driving domain after MATLAB and Simulink, is Carla. And the main reason for that is because it's open source, and MATLAB, if for using MATLAB, you need a specific license. But the other advantage is it's also getting more and more realistic. As you can see, you have vehicles, you have pedestrians, and you can model almost any one of them. And this is not like they are moving in a specific path as well. You can actually control, or you can program the way each one of the elements in this work. And this actually gives, for an open source material, it is pretty good. And a lot of companies actually use this as their base and develop some sort of vehicle simulator based out of this, but it is going to be some version because they want their softwares to be proprietary. And the other common mentions which I also worked with are CarSim and Apollo, and even Autoveria to some extent. But there are some options like the Waymo's CarCraft, which is proprietary software of Waymo, and it is highly sophisticated. And that is the reason why they're able to actually achieve so much amount of prediction and precise movements in their vehicles. So even when they were early into the real world, the cars were mentioned that they could actually see almost 4 football fields away in every direction. That is because of the amount of data which it has already gobbled before coming on the real way. So these are some of the jobs which I found, and this is definitely not an exhaustive list. I can see a lot more in almost every day opening up. And leading companies in this domain, at least, are some of them which I've mentioned here are Waymo and Locomotion, which and Ford and all that. So the Lucid Motors, at least all of these companies, I have handpicked because they actually require specific skills using the automated driving toolbox, and MATLAB, and modeling the various scenarios. And also it also requires knowledge of the Euro NCAP test scenarios, and how do you test the various sensors and blind spots. And so if you go and read the job descriptions of almost all of these positions, they, at least once or twice, they have mentioned everything which we've spoken about in the specific webinar. These are some of the references which I used to take complete webinar. And yeah, that's the end of it. Thank you.